Hey guys, it's Shannon with Apex Tarot Pure Spirit, and I'm urging everyone to go watch those two videos down below. I did two number card readings today, one on this channel and one on my other channel, and they were profound. And same stuff kept coming out about the aneurysm, and actually the cards came out. Okay, so but anyway, I was reminded of something that the Spirit had allowed me to have a dream years ago. It was in 2011, I believe it was. Now today's date is the 11th, and it's profound what the Spirit's been bringing out. Okay, today on the 11th, which is about justice, and a lot of death energies keep coming out today. And I spoke on one of those videos because it was amazing that we got different letters, but they all broke down to a 4. Which is your family, the 4th house, which is a 4 is still 13. It takes you to the 8th house, which is death energy. And then the Emperor energy, war. Okay? So both of those channels and both of those different, out of all the stuff that came out, both readings broke down to a 4. Okay? This is profound. Now, after I turned the camera off, the Spirit began to speak to me. It's amazing, too, that the Spirit's been having me wrap my head. And it's all been about the head and stuff like that. Okay? Because the Spirit loves you enough to give you a word even through your enemy. If you feel like I've been your enemy. You're not my enemy. I don't look at you that way. But anyway, it was all for divine purpose that I'm here, and we were led here this way. But the divine began to speak to me about something that he had showed me back in 2011. I believe it was 2011. It was either 2010 or 2011, but I believe it was 2011. And I had a dream, I've shared it on this channel before, that a storm was coming, okay? And me and 2 other women were told to go get in the house, okay? Amazing to me because in that dream, I woke up and the Spirit had me draw a picture of that dream. And the picture itself that I drew was an 11, okay? 11 is justice. It's also knowing something. If we're looking at the houses along with the high arcana, okay? That's 22. That is a 4, okay? But it's about knowing something, the mind, okay? All of the air energy is about the mind, the thoughts, the intellect, all that kind of stuff anyway. And to be just and upright. We talk a lot about that on this channel. In that dream, I drew a road, a street, and on each side of the street were houses, okay? And me and 2 other women got into my house. I was like, oh, come on, let's get in the house. And we were told to get in the house. Spiritually, like we knew a storm was coming. And I remember in this dream, we're looking out this window. It was a bay window, all colors, tan, bay. And I was tricked with that on purpose to be here, right here, to help somebody. Talk about being tricked and stuff. The Spirit turned everything around on purpose to teach from that place. But anyway, it was a big bay window that we were watching the storm just come down the street itself. Okay? Well, that's your home, the street, down the street. You've got people that live across the street. And I've been talking a lot about family stuff because this has been family feuding and stuff like that. That 4 will go back to the 4th house. The moon energy is about your family. It's amazing that all of the things that the divine will speak to us so profoundly and intertwine it to get one word out, to heal, to ultimately step on the snake that's been healing your foot, but yet to heal the whole self, the whole head, your mind, your will, your emotions. The street, it's connected to the wheel driving down something. We get a lot of that chariot, and the chariot is connected to the moon energy. It's amazing. But in that dream, we're looking out this big old window, and there were 2 tornadoes coming down side by side, okay? And we just watched it, and it did not go to either side of the street, just stayed literally on the street itself, going side by side. And we watched it go in front of the house, and we looked out the window and down the street that there was a big old mountain there. Okay, it was going to run into the mountain, and it did in my dream. There were 3 houses at the end of that street, at the end of where the tornadoes hit, in between that street, on that mountain. Okay, and after that got done hitting the end of the street and running into those 3 houses that were there where that mountain was, I was able to come out the house with my friends, and we were amazed that nobody's vehicle was hurt, nobody's homes were bothered, but those 3 houses at the end of the street were. Representing three different situations, the 3. The Spirit has me in number 3 for a reason. And what the enemy has tried to do to me, turn every number around, every letter around, with every meaning of whatever it was, because it has been a storm, a brainstorm. Amazing to me. And now the thing has literally gotten to the place where that storm is literally an aneurysm in somebody's head. And it went back today on the second reading about divine Emperor and Empress energies itself. Divine divinity. It shouldn't have to be that way. That this stuff has to play out like that. But because people get in their pride, in their ego, in their brain where the storm is, it gets knocked down in the end. And death. There are 3 houses, 3 situations, and 3 things that are going to die here at the end of this storm. Okay? It's inevitable fate that's going to happen. And that's why the divine said he had everything under perfect control. Whatever's happening and why, the Spirit, no one's ever going to say, well, Spirit didn't warn me, because they've been warned. Okay? Obviously, you still have your free will. And if you don't go, you don't go. You can't say that the divine didn't give you a warning. Okay? If you do go, then the divine still has it under control. If you live, you live. If you die, you die. It's still ultimately in the divine's hand. What happens at the end of the storm, the brainstorm. Are you covered? When you close your eyes at the end of the storm, after the storm passes, are you inside the house with the divine? Or are you at the end where the mountain is, where the blockage is? That mountain represents a blockage. That's amazing. Because we've talked about that mountain here on this channel in the Lenormand deck that I have. I just felt like I need to share that, because I don't know how many times I can, really just be really urgent. This is urgent. Especially if you have children. If anybody has a child, you're a divine feminine. You're divine because something came through you. Okay, it's not just one specific person. It's the spirit behind a man and a woman that makes something divine come through itself by way of the divine who made it that way, if that makes any sense. I'm just really distraught right now because this is somebody's life, and I'm going to really have a real hard time on the inside to hear that this person died because they didn't heed the word of the Lord. Okay? Because I care about humanity. Whether they hate me or love me, I don't care. I love humanity, and I love the Spirit to give a word. Because ultimately, the Spirit wants to heal the head. Heal the head, the way it thinks. That lower animalistic state, that hunting, that chasing, that moon energy in the Hebrew means to hunt and to chase things. It's going to get knocked down. That blockage, he wants to take the blockage away. Come get into the house with me. Be protected on Judgment Day. The 11 represents judgment. We've already been in it. It's coming. We're perceiving it. 2020, that's a vibration. That's death energy. Living and dying. What are you going to choose? That's 4. That's your home. That's war. It's death or life, depending on what you choose to do with it. So if you are a mother or a father and you've been having confusion, what do? I'm hurting. And I've been feeling pressure in my mind, but that is spiritual. It's spiritual for me. I already know the outcome because the Spirit already showed me years ago what was going to take place. And He don't lie to me. He don't lie to you either. And when you have that connection to the Heavenly Father, then you can rest assured that He don't lie. And He tells us of many things way before they ever arrive, so that we never can say, like I said, well, this is a surprise to me. The Spirit don't surprise you and I. Daddy loves us. He said, come up higher. Let me show you something here. I just opened my root dictionary here in the Hebrew before I turn the camera on. And the word here is at the bottom of page 233. That's 8. I'm just now noticing this. I just opened it and turned my camera on. I just was curious what Spirit had to say spontaneously, and it amazes me right here what I'm looking at. Okay? And the number 233. Well, the third house is Gemini. It's ruled by Mercury. The third high arcana is that Empress energy. Family. Okay, it's also Taurus and Libra energy there. Something well known being known right here, right now, even out of my mouth on this channel. And then 8 still breaks down to the death energies. Came out on both those readings today. So we got both 3s there. And then the 2, the second house is Taurus. And then the High Priestess energies is the number 2. So then you're getting, and then, Mercury rules over Gemini and Virgo. Okay. And so the 2 has Pisces and Virgo within it. And it's also got your family because the moon is right there. Okay, so people that have also been involved in secretive things that the Spirit's trying to get your attention, because judgment has come upon whoever I'm talking to that has this problem on purpose, because he gave that 8 month, 8 weeks, 8 days, 8 minutes, 8-second word. How many days ago it was, months ago now it's coming to fruition for somebody. Judgment is upon somebody because of their confusing, deceptive stuff that they've done to people, and the Spirit has kept His people in the house. And we've been watching the storm coming, and it's fixing to hit the blockage, and it's either going to kill or it's going to get removed. It's up to you. Are you going to get in the house? The word on this, it's also Leo energy showing up really big and strong here. The word here, the last word on this book, on this page here, is shadow. Now that came up the other day, a couple days ago, when I took the Hebrew language and my cards and shuffled them, and the Heavenly Divine gave me that literal word of shadow. It was the moon energy with the teacher's staff. Okay. This is a mother for some of you. This is a mother for some of you. This is the mother watching me that needs to tell your husband to go. Or something's up with that as well. This could be many people. 3 houses. Okay, this could be up to 3 people. Could be up to 3 different exes that I'm talking to that have divine, masculine, feminine energy, that have been an ex to somebody, but their exes have been messing with them in a really bad way. Okay. So the word is shadow here, and that shadow period of Mercury was on the 7th, okay? Came out of shadow. But yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for the Lord my God is with me. And the second reading that I did stated that He had the whole matter under perfect control, so you don't have to be afraid. Do you want to live? And I know, and I'm going to say it again, some people are afraid to go because of the crap that they got mixed up in. They don't want to go to jail, but you're going to die and go to jail a different way. Because the Spirit's got your back up against the wall, because we don't get away with anything. The other word that is on this page is burden, stress, and anguish. All in the mind, the brain. We have the word on the other, oh my God. We got the word command, and both of those readings that I did today went back to authority. Somebody who's in high authority or federal government or something like that. Okay, that's somebody who would be in high demand of something, or has taken on that role to be in demand of a situation, as well as what Spirit is also saying. Okay, we have the word, are you ready for this? White. White. And we've been talking a lot about that. 88 goes back to white supremacy, prejudice stuff. It's showing up right here. I don't know if you can see it, but white. Also got the word dried and desert and all that kind of stuff, because they are, I don't know if y'all can see that, but being really dry in your spirit, needing a drink. We've seen that Ace of Cups the last couple of, last night and this morning in a read, because somebody needs a real big drink from the heavens. Healing. That Ace Cup represents healing. People are dry and thirsty. They need to drink spiritually. They're dehydrated in the desert. So Spirit, what happens when you're in the desert? You think you're seeing things. That's that delusion. I've seen that Seven of Cups in that other reading, and that is confusion. Okay, what is the, what am I thinking of? Where a mirage, is that what it is? Something like that. And you're thinking that you see something in the desert, and it's not really there. That's mind stuff going on. It's amazing to me. And so then we're getting that white supremacy stuff and prejudice. People who are prejudiced. You know who you are. You know who you are. Who I'm talking to. You need to get to the doctor. And you need to go now. Because if you're not, you better spend the next few days. Because the literal day came out was Sunday. On the second reading. I'm not saying that you're going to die Sunday. Maybe something just happened this last Sunday for you that was real significant in your brain. I don't know. That's for the divine to figure out what minute and what hour and what second that you leave this earth. But I know that blockage is going to get hit by the storm that's coming. Okay? When I drew that picture out, 2 tornadoes made an 11 down the road. And then both houses on each side of that road was 2 straight lines. Also was 11. It's 11, 11. It's 4. It's death. It's death. You're either going to go to jail in hell, or you're going to go get your brain fixed and go to jail and still be able to have something with your children. I said months and months ago when this first started that I seen... in my spirit, I didn't see, I heard in my spirit, my babies, my babies. Oh my God, my babies. Because of what somebody had done. And they didn't get away with it. So, whoever that word is for, the Spirit knows what you've done. And let your life be an example of what the Creator can do through something horrible. Either that, or don't let them sit there and cry at your deathbed and say, why'd you do this to yourself? If you're not going to go to the hospital, then you better really spend some time with your babies this week, because your end is here. Your end is here. I send you love and light. And I'm praying for you. I pray that the divine gives you the strength to face this, or to face eternity. Shalom, y'all.